No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. Old Freeman here, and today, my friends, we have a little bit of an enigma for you. A gin that is not known to many people, including myself. I've literally acted upon advice from many subscribers, and because that's what happens on this show. You talk, I listen. So here, my friends, as per your recommendation, is Greenhook Ginsmiths. Now, as I say, I've not heard of this one before, but I've done a little bit of research, and it's actually from Brooklyn in America. So I'm always very keen to feature American gins on the show because I have a very large American audience, and you never know, if I piss them off, they might come and get me. Now, the only drawback about having a New York gin on the show is that I'm going to have to do my New York accent, and as people know, my regular viewers, my New York accent's not that great. I'm still working on it. Bada boom, bada bing. I could start it off, but then I can't maintain it. I can't maintain it. I'm pretty sure that's not American. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just crack on with it anyway. Let's have a look what they say about it on the website in my best attempt at my New York, Brooklyn accent. Now let's get something straight. I don't know, I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but it seems to be appropriate. We are not one of those distilleries that produce gin and vodka, so we have something to sell when our whiskey ages. There is no whiskey here. There is no vodka here. We do gin, and we do it exceptionally well. And we invite you guys, to raise a glass to see for yourself. Yourself? The main punch in our gin comes from the juniper, naturally, but with a creative twist. We add 9 botanicals to a base spirit distilled from organic grown wheat. The uniqueness of our distillation process creates bright, vibrant, nuanced gin that is a perfect balance between our herbal, floral, and citrus components. Elderflower, cinnamon, and chamomile. Chamomile? Pretty sure that was Australian. It's a mix unlike any other. 47% ABV, man alive. Right, I just about got through it. Apologies if I've offended anyone now. I don't think I have, but you never know these days. But did you hear that? 47% ABV. Now, that's not quite up by the Navy strength, but certainly hovering around the kind of strength that old number 3 has over there, which is about 46%, and that was one of the best gins I've ever had. So this is going to be a peppy old gin, and of course it's got, oh good, the telephone thing's got the telephone, the phone cover, the thing fell over. And of course what I was going to say was it's got the secret ingredient of elderflower, which I'm pretty certain you can't have anything with elderflower in without it being absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited to try this one for you today, my friends. Let's crack on and do it now. But just quickly before we do, I have to say thank you very much to one of my patrons who is already a patron but has upgraded their patronage from the mid-level patron to the top-level patron. So thank you very much to Mariana Kump. Mariana, we had a lovely little chat the other day via the patron chat service, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart once again, and I'm forever in your debt, and I salute you. Right then, let's crack the devil open, shall we? So it's got quite a tightly sealed in bit of green stuff around the top here, but don't worry, I think I shall make short work of it. I did as well. There we go, top comes off, and it does have a cork test, so we know what that means. It's the New York Brooklyn cork test. The New York Brooklyn cork test. So here we go. Do we have a squeak? Here we go. Absolutely no squeak. It's like a well-oiled cork. We'll go for the full pull. Oh dear. Oh dear. It doesn't bode well with the cork test. That was like a rather little sort of a tiny, like an ant breaking wind. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we all know it's just a bit of fun. So then, I'm expecting a delightful aroma with this because it has my old friend elderflower in there. So putting my nostril straight in the glass with no respect for my own health and safety. In it goes. There we go. Wow, my friends, I can tell you now, that is extraordinarily welcoming smell within my nostrils and indeed my nasal cavities further beyond. In fact, you know what? I'm going in for a second one. I'm going to treat myself. So a nice little... Oh, you can definitely tell it's strong. That alcohol gets right down the lungs and just gives it a bit of a... But what do we get here? How can I convey the smell to you? It's basically very kind of... It smells like a perfect balance of kind of citrusy, like it said, a little bit kind of herbally, a little bit of herbally essence to it, but mostly it's all about that elderflower. If you don't know what elderflower is, I can't really describe it. It's just a beautiful floral but sweet and the perfect balance of all things good, and it makes things amazing. As I say, I've never had something with elderflower in it and not enjoyed it. So I say we crack on and get it in the old mouth. So here we go, a freshly opened bottle of tonic straight out the refrigerator. Beautiful bit of condensation there. In fact, it's going to cool me down quite nicely because it's at that point in the year where it's actually getting rather warm in the studio. I've got sun beating down on it. I have freezing cold studio and leaking roof in the winter, and then baking hot in the summer. But I do have a kind of a sweet spot, and I'm just sort of over the edge of it. Once again, I'm gabbling again. I'll get on with the video. So guys, here we go. Once again, thank you to all my wonderful patrons, people like Mariana Kump, who are literally paying for the gin, as well as my YouTube members as well. This is Greensmiths. No, it's not. It's Greenhook Ginsmiths, all the way from Brooklyn, USA. I say cheers. Cheers? Cheers. I don't know what you say in Brooklyn, but we say cheers in the UK. Here we go. Oh, gin lovers. I tell thee what, the old elderflower has not let me down again. As much as I bigged it up, I think I could, sometimes you can big something up too much, it's always a bit of an anticlimax, but I don't think I could ever build up elderflower enough to the point of disappointment, because that is glorious. So what do you get first? It's kind of some gins kind of come all in usually three phases. This sort of when it tips on the tongue, when it goes to the mouth, then down the aftertaste. This kind of beautifully it kind of all moves as one, but as one kind of beautifully sort of balanced and match bunch of flavors. And to be honest, it's one of those ones that's so perfectly matched, it's kind of difficult. They're all sort of humming in perfect harmony. It's kind of difficult to discern each individual flavor, but I'm definitely, as I said, I'm getting that wonderful, so the main flavor is always going to be elderflower in there because it's quite a big flavor and it's quite sweet. I do like a sweet gin. I'm rather partial to, well, many things sweet, to be honest. So imagine a kind of a sort of a floating orb, if you will, of elderflowery goodness. So just a sort of a cruising into the mouth, but sort of surrounding it in kind of a sort of a, what would that motion be? A satellitic, pretty sure that's not a word, but I like it. A satellitic floating motion around this orb. You've got kind of a tinge of nice lemony citrus, a little bit kind of sherbety as well, but they're just blending and fizzing together in a wonderful, wonderful way. It's like a match made in heaven. It's kind of almost that sort of a tiny sharp warming spice, which I'm guessing is the cinnamon, but you wouldn't probably discern it if you didn't know cinnamon was in there. But having read it, I'm pretty sure it's backing it, used very, very subtly, but very, very cleverly as well. And then all that is kind of combined and held together with a sort of a slightly sort of herbaceous sort of essence to it as well. But again, just a tiny, tiny whiff of it, which I guess is something to do with the chamomile, but good Lord, that is an incredibly well-matched bunch of flavors. And the strange thing is, it doesn't take, even though it's a lot stronger than what you'd expect to find in, the London Dries around about the 42%, doesn't really taste it. Doesn't get that huge whack, that huge, sort of bowl you over, which is, in a way a little bit disappointing, but I don't really care because it just tastes so damn good. However, does it taste good neat? So today, of course, I've remembered, not forgotten, to bring my No Nonsense gin drinking mug, of which you could own this too if you were to only click on the little section below or go and visit my merch store at Teespring, and you too could be oh, good God, I am struggling today. You too could be drinking, come on, Bobby. Hold it together. You too could be drinking gin from a mug just like me. So let's try it neat, see what happens. And there's the strength we were talking about. Somehow the tonic kind of takes that away a little bit, but oh yeah, that's burning. That's burning. That's burning on the back of the tongue. And again, like I always say, I think the flavors are much, much more released. I'm not getting any of that magic that I had with the gin and tonic, to be honest. I know a lot of my neat, well, they are my favorite as well. My favorite neat gin drinkers who watch this show, I think you're gonna like this one because it's quite punchy. But again, I'm going for the gin and tonic. However, my friends, how bloody ever, what is it going to cost you for this little bit of magic? What's the price of magic, you might ask? Well, I'm going to bloody well tell you. I can give you it in dollars, actually, because this is an American gin, as I say. It's available in America from $35.99. Over here, it's about £40, and Europe is going to be about 46 European, euros, which, as you know, is kind of at the top end of my budget for a lesser known gin, but if ever, it's actually slightly under, it's about 38 to be fair, so it's a little bit under my top budget for the lesser known gin. So to be honest, that's very well priced for an excellent gin. So guys, to sum up today, that it's strange because I don't think I would have ever tried that before. It's a rather unassuming little bottle, isn't it? Not particularly sort of standoutish on the shelf, but this is why I've got my gin lovers, why I've got you guys to recommend these ones for me and make sure I feature them on the show, because I might not otherwise do so. And indeed, you have not failed me this time, or many other times as far as I can imagine, because this is going to be, it's not a weird and wonderful and wacky and crazy gin, but it's enough of a step away from the bog standard type gin to make it very individual. And I think anyone who likes those core gins, but maybe not quite into the stratosphere of all the weird and wonderful stuff, you're going to really like this. It's a step away from the, as I say, from the run of the mill, but it's just subtle enough to sort of, I think, keep it in your hemisphere as well. So I suggest you go out and try it right away. And I say to my friends at the Greenhook Ginsmiths distillery, where they only make gin, keep up the good work. So guys, I hope you found this video informative, useful, entertaining and arousing. If you did, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done already. Press the like button on the video, and if you want to support me like a good old Mariana Kump did, head over to my Patreon page, or indeed press the button below this video to become a YouTube member, or you can press the little heart thing down there to do some sort of super thanks and send a very small payment straight away, which makes me one step closer to fixing my roof. But until next time guys, you all know the drill. Take care, stay safe, thank you to all my patrons and members, and keep drinking the gin.